We are humans. We are supposed to have something in our brain. Now I wrote a letter to Mr. Obama. I'm going to read in the other video. I'm just cursing him. Why are you cursing? The President of the United States. Oh, that's funny. There was this funny story. Okay? A teenager, 17 years old, he wrote to Mr. Obama cursing him, calling him a prick. The next day, Secret Service came to his house and expelled the guy from the country. So White House, they have people to protect the president for not being cursed, okay? But I'm a scientist. I wrote to Mr. Obama 16 letters and he didn't reply any of them. I asked the president to have a special concern about protect science in the patent system, but I got no reply. So I'm going to curse the president in the next video just to see how it goes, because it means cursing may be much more powerful than politeness. Mr. Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington DC, 20,500. Mr. Obama, you are an asshole, deeply fucking science on such incompetence to perform your duty and guide our country. Son of a bitch lawyer from Harvard. Politely, I told you many insistent times already that I do not want my science hydrology dishonored and violated so shamefully, harming the functioning of society as well as ignoring the rule of the law. So now we go down to history when a scientist has to appeal cursing the US president, ordering him compliance and respect to science. I never cared about wealth or fame, but seeing my scientific breakthrough dishonored blatantly by greedy fat cats, lay inventors and corrupt US officials is just untenable and harmful to human endeavors. Killing the soul by cursing might be even more efficient than killing the flesh by empowering weapons. Brazilian President Mrs. Rousseff took weapons and served time to fight against dictatorship for the rights to choose. But the rights to choose our leaders degraded, becoming mandatory as the candidates fail equally in the same corruption pattern, making democracy something inefficient and expensive to protect the functioning of Brazilian society, as our leaders seem so derailed on their guidance, have no idea what to pursue. In Brazil we have to pretend we are Democrat, but what is missing to all governments in general, mainly in the US, is just honesty. Jordan Bruno was burned alive facing up the biased fate to protect knowledge, while now I must step up to confront corruption, harming hydrology science functioning. I'm not worried if you send people to shoot me and my family like you did to Osama bin Laden, just to increase our poll rates. Shit! If the goal was just to make money, I suggested Roche just to bribe people at the Treasury Office by simply printing the bills instead of colluding with USPTO, soiling science on intellectual property affairs, poorly reinventing what I already did, so grounded on classic scientific principles. China dictatorship has something that I personally admire as the power to send fast to death penalty those corrupt, greedy criminals that spoil the functioning of society. It seems that China has to grow and personal individuals cannot derail it like the US is doing lately. China is so imposing that if the country figure out that obesity is a problem in few years, everybody will get slim again and never ever. A Chinese leader would assign an obese person to solve obesity problem simply because leaders must provide honorable and sound models to new generations on precious goal to pursue. As you are aware, I am a PhD scientist fucking your ass and not a teen, 17 years old like Mr. Luke Angel that was drunk and quickly expelled from the country on September 2010 for calling you a prick. You are fucking your country and the whole world altogether for such incompetence and disrespect to science functioning. I am a scientist pursuing a sort of scientific discovery deeply rooted on government negligence, corruption, collusion. I spent 12 years of my project gave me no single penny because honesty shorted on US government affairs. You are far more than an asshole and prick, as I carried out more than 3,000 trials to be sure that nature agrees with my new conception of hydrodynamics. So, lay and corrupt people are overstep my scientific acumen to harm what humans have the most precious, decency and glare. Protecting hydrology sites from reinvention. Mr. Obama, I sent you already 16 very polite letters requesting that my scientific discovery be respected and not be reinvented again by lay people that does not understand it, by corrupt patent examiners judging a complex scientific issue they are not known in the art, by a negligent patent office clearly betraying and dishonoring the principle of invention, allowing reinventions even with flawed patents from wealthy parties very clear technical mistakes that ignore common knowledge, plenty on textbooks. They are so stupid and corrupt that I advise them many times not to violate my IP rights. With flawed patents, their mistakes so easy to verify. Now the dumb pricks do not care about respecting the law and science. Prick, you were supposed to reply my polite letters, acknowledging my request by providing a feedback like any public employee do on their regular duties. Asshole. Your predecessor allowed the economic system meltdown, wasting $2 to $40 trillion, erasing millions of jobs that is deeply screwing your country and the entire world altogether. You allowed the oil of the Gulf of Mexico to spill, while hydrology, my sense that you are dishonoring, could have clogged the spilling flow just using simple principles of hydrodynamics, like I suggest in one of my polite sent letters. Those assholes lay people use golf balls and shredded tires to clog an upward flow against gravity instead of using high-density sinking geometry through a well lumen 4.5 km in the seabed 1.5 km underwater. Bastard! I also told you that a simple equation must fix all the economic system for good. Protecting laws of offer and demand being harmed by combined effect of greed and fears, like investment is equal investment plus profit. I did not invent a new can opener. My scientific breakthrough as US Patent 67668117 developed new conceptions into hydrodynamics to update textbooks addressing unsaturated hydraulic conductivity mentioned in only 24 issued patents so far. Today, thermal and heat conductivity is mentioned in 79,991 issued patents. Electric conductivity is mentioned in 58,932 issued patents, while lay people address fluid movement porosity as weak-weaking in 27,471 issued patents, ignoring hydrology knowledge. Weak-weaking in the patent classification system but not in the hydrology textbooks. This left figure shows that Roche does not employ any hydrology or soil scientists to understand the deep functioning of fluids moving on porous system, even less the rounding geometry. So they learned with my patent, copied and poorly reinvented it, certainly bribing and corrupting US officials, as well as ignoring my pleas for honesty under the law. The violation is so despicable that the patent examiner allowing the violation already cited my patent earlier, and the technical background is so poorly handled, the hydrology scientific community is going to become mesmerized by such nuisance. How they did it? They employed the same procedure as Mr. Rupert Murdoch, hacking the phone system in UK and electing the Prime Minister there. Collusion with government people and institutions clearly overstepped the boundaries of the law. I'm not stupid as the whistleblower is dead, just suggest how such scum handled the issue. I am curious on how much you are involved with this scandal The patent system, as top technology, deals with the mammoth wealth by, if mishandled, curb creativity. I told Roche and I put more than 4,000 of their emails on my blog. If they have this power to bribe US officials on money making, they should be smart and bribe people at the Treasury Office by printing the bills. Still, my invention poorly is just impossible, as knowledge cannot be recreated, even less by those ones not known in the art, missing critical background and expertise. Mr. Obama, sincerely speaking, you are a deep and incompetent asshole. You assigned Dr. Regina Benjamin as general surgeon, a physician 42 pounds overweight, to guide Americans against the growing obesity trend that's always going up. How could a professional that does not employ herself the deep understanding of a healthy lifestyle convince Americans on doing otherwise? Even worse, you assign your wife, Mrs. Obama, a lawyer to lead a fight against obesity with youth. You are simply implying that physicians do not need to be healthy, while lawyers can meddle on health issues. Oh my God. I do not want lay people handling hydrology and patenting affairs because there is a deep background requirement already taught at many educational levels. Lay people are just empty in their minds on what to do and how much they understand it. Asshole. If lawyers handle laws, why? Non-hydrologists can meddle and mess classical hydrology. Well, you got a Nobel Peace Prize awards as you are fostering wars, lobbying with the weapon industry. Let's be honest with the world. After all, Mr. Alfred Nobel became very wealthy, developing dynamite and helping governments on WMD explosive technologies to wage wars decimating millions of humans. Mr. Nobel was not working with hydrology. He made another huge mistake, putting price on the science, driving scientists toward greed instead of pursuing a balance with nature. That's funny. I like to evaluate human intelligence not by IQ and brain performance, but on how broad is their waste to see if any brain power is employed on their own good, protect their physiological functioning from modern life effect. There is a side conclusion simply insinuate that humans are not adapting to the new landscape being created. We were supposed to protect those uncontacted tribes in the Amazon rainforest that are not affected by our modern life. Those humans have no cancer, no obesity, no electricity, no junk food, no cars, no clothes, no salt, and no need of oil or atomic nukes. Also, they have no need of university to pretend we are learning and understand what is going on. They are simply in balance with nature while we are not. This is another son of a bitch. I want those bad people out of the system because I will not allow hydrology science to be so shamefully desecrated as you are driving human existence to the rift. According to a predicted trend, when obesity in the US reaches 85% by 2040, you will notice how ugly negligence to nature turns out. Lack of fitness also reduces brain power, developing people with less perception of how dumb they are becoming. Those scams are insinuated that the law can be broken if you are wealthy. Judges do not need to understand what they are judging, and invention can be reinvented. I am a patient man, since by now I already sent near 5,000 letters to many parties demanding respect to hydrology. A faculty at the University of Connecticut simply copied my patent and reinvented it again, beside many lawful requests to disclose to many people around there. So I sent emails to about 70,000 people at UConn and posted their emails on my blog asking the world to come after them, just requesting honesty and respect to science. Perhaps you can use your power and influence to blow a nuke on your own ass instead of coming here bothering me or my peaceful place. I am just another one mingling with so many commoners. Perhaps my honesty can be a threat even more than Osama bin Laden, an ex-CIA affiliate, to American security. I am just a scientist trying to let my science deliver something good to human existence. But fucking stupid lawyers like you are just harming this development to human affairs harder than expected because of this subtle struggle between knowledge and power ignoring honesty. I am curious on what you are going to do with this letter, since it's going to spread over as communication power allows it. The good point is that young people will learn about the hardship of being an honest scientist. Awareness needed to be developed that without honesty few things would work for humans down the line. Once I suggest you to step down, but now I have doubt if Americans would have any better option to guide them to a gloomy future, as you can screw their future faster than anyone else. Perhaps you are neither bad nor do it on purpose, it's just a lack of brain power to handle it better. I was thinking of developing hydrology even further. After all, my scientific breakthrough cancels around 50,000 patents and open room for another 200,000 new ones. Unhappily, the patent system is simply biased. Besides inventing something and getting issued patents, inventors still need guts to hold people's balls and kick their asses as corruption is overspread, allowing their inventions be reinvented even by flawed patents from wealthy parties with power to circumvent and collude. USPTO is fucking all technological development allowing reinvention. The patent laws are good, but people like Mr. Murdoch just overstep it to get advantage, blatantly and shamefully ignoring the rule of the law. How hard is it to compel that inventions cannot be reinvented? Issued patents must be respected, as well as common knowledge on scientific literature cannot be ignored. People at USPTO are so negligent and incompetent. They confirmed having no hydrologists to judge hydrology, implying that examiners do not need to understand what they are judging. The asshole said that my legal intellectual property right was going to be simply ignored because USPTO did not have experts knowing the art of hydrology. One of the oldest science to humankind. USPTO has around 6,000 patent examiners and none of them is a hydrologist. I am simply curious to know how much worse you are going to lead your country before you start picking the right paths. People in Oslo learned how efficient the modern system can breed cycles harming so many innocent ones. Just imagine the upgrade if you bred a cycle like this one near your nukes that could be a hell of damage at home on your own face. People are so stupid sometimes. You can hack a phone. Even can you steal a scientific discovery? Can you cheat on Albert Einstein, Newton, Lavoisier, etc.? Human mentality may not have budged much since Giordano Bruno outcome burning the pole, just shifting from faith to business, and the same vultures preying and spoiling human glare. Socrates was forced to swallow his own poison for challenging the biased ruling power. He preferred to perish facing the system, dying than fleeing. You can be sure that I dislike the letter much more than you do, but I understand the underlying function of human mind that made us so unique in the animal kingdom. Instead of children of God, we probably chased and ate our cousins. During our evolution, now we are threatening the fundamentals of our existence by misguided leadership. You are supposed to have brain to do much better than what you are presently doing. Hydrology is protected, but human future is so uncertain. Former President Bill Clinton, my PhD commencement on May 10, 1996, said that we were going to develop new technology and provide jobs never imagined before. He did not predict how much his successors would screw up so badly such endeavors, with a gloomy outcome hitting the land of opportunity, making the American dream an unpredicted nightmare. FYI, science simply deals with the functioning of nature, as neglecting it means overstepping the principles of human existence. Inventors need to know the hardship of inventing something when the government fails on its duties, colluding with wealthy parties. This is funny. The weapon industry would get bankrupt soon if people start cursing instead of shooting. Indeed, such a change would deserve a Nobel Peace Prize award when human differences are dealt with swear words instead of guns. Well, My fate to Mr. Nobel is new, as life is a constant war for surviving, while wisdom gives us insights on which contents to undertake. When you read US Pet 6 766 8117, you will understand who I am and why I struggle to get through. Cheers! Campinas, Brazil, August 18, 2011. Elson Silva, PhD,